Hello, everybody. What I was wanting to talk about today is how I feel like fire, particularly like a campfire, and transcendental meditation has they associate with each other. And what I'm talking, I know with some have heard of, transcendental meditation. I won't pretend that I'm some expert on it. I did go to, I did take a class that I guess you'd say a class or it's a certification. You're not really training of how to do transcendental meditation. They call it TM. So I went through the whole training part of it and got my mantra. You're supposed to have like a personal mantra that you say, and did practice transcendental meditation for probably not that long. I think I've done it for like 9 months total a few years ago. And to do transcendental meditation, you do to do it, as I say, right, you do it 20 minutes twice a day, every day. And as they explain to you whether it's doing it or not. They say that what it is doing is getting you closer to enlightenment. They're not saying that like you will be enlightened, but it's getting you closer to enlightenment that they say basically everyone becomes closer to as they age and have more and more life experiences. And the teachers of it explain that it gets you closer to that point that you would naturally get to through age faster, so you can become closer to being enlightened at an earlier age. And they explain like this is why as you get older, not everybody, but some people, they start seeing the way I see enlightenment as being is starting to see the things that actually matter in life, and the other things that you start, not like what matters changes, but you actually see the things that actually do matter. What is going to bring you the most happiness in life, as opposed to the fluff of, I guess you would say, less materialistic, more, you'll see that like spending time with others, relationships, that kind of thing, seems to be, more experiences, shows its importance over, like money or things, toys or whatever. So that's kind of like the way I explain transcendental meditation, what it actually is. I know maybe some people have experienced this, but it is the absence of thought is what you're trying to achieve. And as soon as you try to not have thought, well, then you start thinking. Turn that fan on. I'm about to cook out here. But so it's one of those things that the more you practice it, the better you get at it. And it's so what you're attempting to do is have a full 20-minute session with no thought, and twice a day. And they explain this is when the mind is at most rest, even being rested more than sleeping. But the best way I can explain what being in that state is, I know most have experienced this. I give a scenario of, say, it's raining outside and you're staring out the window and maybe you're watching, you see a puddle forming, and you're staring at the drops falling into the puddle, and wait just a minute. You're seeing the drops fall into the puddle, and and you're kind of like you're just staring out the window, and you're watching this, no expression, and you kind of become entranced into it. So you're just hearing the tapping of the rain, seeing the drops, and maybe somebody comes up to you and they're just, they're like, Daniel, and you just like, oh, I kind of like zoned out there for a second. And that is essentially, this can be multiple things, where we just kind of like, just like I say, you just zone out and don't even know that somebody is like talking to you. And that is essentially the state that you will get in with Transcendental Meditation with TM. But you intentionally try to get into this state over and over. I stopped doing it. I enjoyed the practice of it, but I did not like how my brain was changing. I think now that maybe I should just continually done it, and it would have, as it got bad for a while and then got better, maybe I was getting closer to enlightenment. I don't know, but it was it just seemed like I was losing the ability to relate to people. And people could be telling me some super serious problem they was having, to where I would just be kind of like that might be my response, like, to where I was just seemed like I was not picking up what they was saying, or it was just wasn't important. I just didn't have that ability to make it important. Maybe I was like, I'm thinking in higher dimensions. I don't know what it was, but I just know I did not like having a mind that was like that. But why I say this, getting back to why I think it is, related to the campfire, I cannot help but think of like how it is almost impossible for us to sit around the campfire and watch this fire, or any fire that's burning, and not almost automatically slip into this state that I was talking about, this zoning out state, while we're watching this fire. And this is why we enjoy sitting and staring at a fire so much, that I feel like that this is for how many hundreds of thousands of years have we as people sat around a fire, used fire, and done this, zoned out, until probably the last 100 years, or maybe a little more than that. We've not really been, it's probably 200 years now I think of it, or longer than that. But so I feel like, not to mention what a fire actually meant to us for so long. It meant we wasn't going to freeze to death. To have that fire, start a fire, we're not going to freeze to death. It's dark outside, night. We can actually see, because we can't see in the dark. We have something that predators, the bear, saber-toothed tiger, which was, I don't think we was around when it was around. But the saber-toothed tiger, the bear, the lion, we had something to fend them off with and to actually see them with. Fire to cook our food, to kill the bacteria, to, can go on and on about what fire meant to us. Were actually meant life or death, having that fire. So it not only became like almost the giver of life to us, the protector of life, maybe not the giver of life, but the protector of life, I'll say. And so I feel like, just like how the body over a period of time of, say like working out, your body gets really good at using that as a stress reliever, because it's like, oh, this person does this time of the day, every day, almost every day. So, and it is pretty efficient at being like a pressure relief valve for the stress that everybody experiences. So let's maximize this time to get rid of the most stress possible. So it gets really good at doing that through your workouts. But then once the workouts stop, then it's other ways that it maybe before working out was using to get rid of stress, it has become less efficient at. So when the workout stops, the stress really builds up, because its main thing that it was using to get that it's got really good, or maybe efficient at removing the stress from your brain, from your body, is now gone. So now it's like, for a period of time, like, well, now what do we do? And I feel like that's the same way with the campfire. Like, the body of enough time of staring at the campfire, their brains was like, oh, these people are going to do this every day. They're going to build this thing, and this is a prime way to quiet their mind, to give us as the brain a period of rest, to make us more efficient at more accurate thought, more I would say like a rested brain would possibly be a more intelligent brain. So, well-rested brain. So not only get rest through sleep, rest through the Transcendental Meditation, you call it, or the absence of thought. So I think from the hundreds of thousands of years of us originally doing this unknowingly by staring at a campfire, we was over the thousands of years was getting Transcendental Meditation without knowing it. I think I just said that already, but then when we got away from the campfire, we lost that, just the same as like when we don't get away from the workout, we lose that most efficient way of getting rid of stress. When we get away from that campfire, we get away from that most efficient way to quiet our mind, and that is when Transcendental Meditation was, I guess, created to replace that. So that is the long way around the mountain of me explaining my theory of why we cannot not look at a fire, stare at a fire, campfire particularly, and why it is so peaceful to us. One of the reasons it is so peaceful, so calming, and so I believe that's it. That's a video I've been wanting to make for a long time, because it's just a theory that I have explained to some people, but just like I say, I'm always hoping that the right person that actually does know more about the brain than I do watches one of these videos, and it's just like it gives them a new direction of thought that they maybe did not entertain until I said it, and they could find out, is that really true? So, because I hope it is. But that was on my mind, and still went a lot longer than I thought, but I am long-winded. So if you've watched, you stayed with me this long, I greatly appreciate it, and hope you have a great day. Thank you.